All right, so 8-2, this is solving two-step equations. We did this last year, but it's going to get a little trickier this year, okay? So I have a whole bunch of different types of problems I'm going to show you and what they're going to look like. There's exactly 3 types that you're going to see today, and we're going to go through each of those 3 types so you can see exactly how you need to solve these things, okay? So we are looking for an answer like we were yesterday, like D equals, X equals, T equals, so you kind of get the hang of it starting yesterday. But 2 types you're going to see, okay? There's type 1, that's going to look like this, and type 2, that's going to look like this. Now, let me just skip ahead. All right, we'll do each one separately. That's what I had planned. So you can write them down, but let's just talk about the differences between the 2, okay? What's that? There is. My third one's not yet. My third one is not yet. We have to know how to do these before we get to the third type. All right, so what are some things that you see in these problems? Let's just talk about this type right here, type 1. What are some things you see in there, whether it's numbers, letters, operations, yeah. Okay, a variable, what else? There's always going to be a variable. What else is in there? Subtraction, and what else? Multiplication. And we got to get rid of 3 and the 5. Yep, so the goal is to still get that variable on one side. What about this over here? What do you see over here? Dividing, subtracting, okay? These are the 2 different types that you're going to have to know how to solve. So let's talk about type 1, okay? Let's just do them together, and then I'll let you do some by yourself. So I have 3p minus 10 equals 8. Anybody like when I write steps down, like what to do first? Is anybody a step person? Okay, so I can do that for this if you want me to. All right, so step 1. Adding or subtracting. Okay, so my step 1, I'm doing 3p minus 10 equals 8. I'm going to work with my adding and subtracting first. So if I look over there, what's being added or what's being subtracted? 10. We're just looking at 10, okay? I'm not worried about this yet, okay? So I need to figure out how to get rid of that from that one side, because my goal is to get p by itself, so I have to get rid of the minus 10, and I have to get rid of the 3. So what can I do to get rid of this 10, Ethan? Add 10 to it, okay? So this is what it needs to look like. Plus 10, cross out. Now you have to show the steps, because if you don't, you're going to be confused for the next 6 lessons that we have. Yes, we did do this last year. And if I do it to one side, I have to do it to the other side. So I'm going to add 10 to this side also. I'm always doing the opposite of what's ever going on. I like to draw a line because I can see my steps then one at a time. So like this was my first step. So now I'm left with 3p equals 18. My second step is to do the multiplying or dividing. So this is like what we saw yesterday, remember? Except for it's not like a fraction or a decimal. 3p equals 18. How can I get rid of the 3 now? I'm going to divide by 3 on both sides. So divide by 3, divide by 3. And I'm going to cross out. And then I'm left with, I always do it in lines like this. So then p equals 6. Yep. Please show the work. Please show the work. Yeah, probably. I mean, some of them have fractions in them. Some of them have whole numbers. So I'm going to show you all of them so you can see what they look like. Okay? All right. Let's do this one. How about you do this one by yourself? See if you can do that one by yourself. And then I want to do one with a fraction also. So first you're working with adding and subtracting. Then you're working with the multiplier and dividing. In this case, we're just dividing. Okay, so what would be the first step here that you would do? Aspen? Subtract 3 from both sides. Yep. Then I'm left with 3w equals 6. What's my next step that I have to do? Divide by 2, or 3, I'm sorry, divide by 3, w equals 2. Yep, nice job. Nice job. Any questions on these? Let's do one. I'm going to throw in one with a fraction because I know there's some like that. 1/3 g plus 4 equals 2. So let's do the first step. You can do the first step, minusing 4, minusing 4. So this is what it looks like. 1/3 g equals -2. Because if I'm adding 4, I have to do the opposite. I always am doing the opposite. If they're adding 4, I'm taking it away. If they're subtracting 4, I'm adding it to it. I'm always doing the opposite. So now, this is what I'm left with. This is what we did yesterday. So there should be no guessing. Does anybody remember what we did? I'm divide by a third, right? Divide by a third. And I'm going to do the same thing here. Really, it looks like this. -2/1 times 3/1. Because it would really look like this, I guess. And then it's going to be -6/1 if you want to put 6 or 6/1. So g would be your -6. So there will be some fractions, and I just want you to make sure you remember how to do that because that was all we did yesterday. That was the point of yesterday's lesson. What's that? You just have -6. No, you don't have to have one. Nope. No, you don't. I'm going to give you one with a fraction. I want you to do it by yourself. You do this by yourself. It's half k minus 7 equals -16. Okay, first step, you're going to add 7. Add 7, add 7. What's -16 plus 7? -9. So it'd be half k equals -9. Divide by half. Divide by half. Really, it looks like this. Should be -18. -18. Okay. What questions do you have for type 1? Anybody have questions on these types of problems? Okay, let's go to 2 then. 2 looks like this. 2 looks like this. R divided by 4 minus 23 equals 5. Same thing is going to happen. You're going to work with your addition and subtraction first. I'm just going to look at this right here. So if I'm minusing 23, yeah, in the end, yeah. Let's see, is this separate? Okay. I'm going to add 23 first. Add 23, so I have 28. So R divided by 4 equals 28. Now, it's just what we did the other day, but we're not dividing 4, remember? We're going to multiply because this is R divided by 4, so I have to undo that by multiplying. Let's see, 2, carry the 3, 8, 9, 10, 11. R is going to equal 112. So pretty much the same thing, only the last part is just the opposite, okay? Pretty much the same thing, last part, opposite. Any questions on this one? For the most part, yeah. I have one more type I got to show you. I have one more type I have to show you, okay? Okay. Any questions on this? Do I need to do another one with you? Are we good to go on that? Okay. All right, so here's the last type. We'll come back to those. This is type 3. Type 3 has a few steps before you need to solve. So I can write some, if you want some steps, I can do some steps here. First one, combine all like terms. Yep. Some of it, yes. Some of it, yes. And then add or subtract. And then you're going to do your multiplication or division depending on what's going on. Yep, so you have to, if you want to put a 1 there, you can do that. Yeah, this one's pretty simple. So this one would be 3x minus 27 equals 3. And then it would be solving like you normally know how to solve. Yep, plus 27 on both sides. Yep, so that combining part is the only part that's different. Everything else, you should be left with a two-step equation in the end. You should be left with a two-step equation. Okay? It should be probably 10. Probably 10. Okay. Let's try some more of these, shall we? Let's try some more of these. You try these yourself. You try these yourself. See if you can do it. It's just combining your like terms first and then solving. What's that? Do the one on the right. How do I do the one on the left? Okay. Do you want me to show you? Sweet. You want to do the one on the left together? Okay. I'll do it anyway. I'll do it anyway. I'll let you try it and then I'll do it. You can. I'll just show you how to do it. So really, because if I put this together, it's going to be 4 minus 6c equals 58. Right? Do you understand why I get that part? Jackson, get that part? Okay, so then I'm always dealing with this number. Even though it says subtract, I mean, I have to look at the sign that's in front of the 4. So what sign would be really in front of the 4? Positive. So what am I going to do to get rid of it? Minus 4, yep. Minus 4. So then I'm left with whatever's left here I got to bring down. So negative 6c equals 54. And now you can solve like you normally know how to solve. So if that number's in the front, you just do whatever the opposite of this. If it's a negative, you're going to add to it. If it's a positive, you're going to subtract. Just because it's a different spot doesn't mean anything. You just got to look at the sign in front. Okay? I don't know. Is it? Is this one 9 too? It'd be negative 9. That one's negative 9. This one, so it'll be 3.4 equals 0.6m minus 2. So you minus 2. Oh, yes, I'm going to add 2. Thank you. I didn't write that. Oh, my gosh, I'm all sorts of messed up. Bah. So I got to add 2 to both sides. So 5.4 equals 0.6m divided by 0.6 divided by 0.6. This one's also going to be 9. You are correct. You are correct. Okay. How are we doing? So far, so good? Okay. I want to go back here, and I want you to do these for me. Make sure we know how to do these. And then I'm going to show you a few of the story problem type stuff. And then that's it for today. Okay? A few of the story problems. You do all of them. Yep, these are all types of problems you're going to have on your homework today. You try them. See what you can do. You try them. I feel like I need to do another one like that left one. Correct. So we did type 1 and type 2, yep. And then I'm going to do another one that's a type 3, so we're on the same page. Some of them, yes, but if they do, they stop in the 10th spot. They're not big. if you're multiplying. Yep, you're multiplying. All right, anybody ready? Need a few seconds yet? Okay. Sorry, I'm just asking. Just asking. Just wondering where we're at. So if you are adding and it's a negative, we always go with the opposite is the sign directly in front of the 10. So if I'm going to add 10 to it. I'm always using the sign with what's right in front of it. I'm doing the opposite of what's right in front of it. So plus 10 on that one. Yep. So plus 10. This one? Yep, because you always look at the sign directly in front of the number. And this is directly in front. So you do the opposite of that. All right, you ready? Okay. All right, let's talk about this one. 1, that's supposed to be a 1. Answer to this one, anybody want to share? Larissa? X is 6. You agree? I think so. 42 minus 11. Let's go to this one. 6q minus 18. Anybody want to share? Ethan? Q equals negative plus 18. So we would have plus 18 have been 40. So 6q equals 48. Yep, q would have been just 8, I believe. Did you subtract 18, I wonder? I'm not sure. Oh, you're doing down here? Oh, tell me this one then. Anybody else got negative 36? I don't know. All right, so hold on. Minus 24, we're going to minus 24. We're going to keep change. 36, negative 36. B divided by, or 2. So we had to times by 2. Yep, just forgot that step. Negative 72 is the answer for that one. Okay? And then over here, you would have been adding your 10. And it would have been t divided by 6 equals 24. Multiply by 6 on both sides. Then 140, 84? 84 or 44? All right, 144 says the group. Oh, yeah, that's right. 24 times 6 would be 4, carry the 2, 12, 13, 14. Okay, glad we're back to that point. Actually, I'm going to do one more, and then we're going to move on. One more. Try this one. 1.1 minus t, you can put a 1 in front of it if you want, plus 2.2t equals 5.9. So then we got to combine these two things. Does that answer it? Dad, tell me. Do you guys understand how to put these two things together? Okay, so this is what it should be, because you're really just subtracting one from it. 1.1, well, we got to subtract it, right? Minus 1.1. Wait, time out. Where are we stuck at? Because I have people that are stuck at certain spots. Okay, what Gabe, did you say? Okay, if there's nothing in the front here, it's a positive. If there's no sign, it's automatically a positive. If there's a sign, it's going to have a sign and be negative. Then you can do the opposite. So we're going to minus 1.1. Then 1.2t equals 4.8. I should make an arrow that this is what it looks like. And you know what? You might get to your homework and you might bomb it, but we'll come back. So you got to divide it. It should be 4, I believe, in the end. It's really 48 divided by 12. If you move the decimal, it's 4. Yep. Okay, you know what? I'm going to stop there because my homework doesn't have very many story problems in it. So we will tackle more story problems, I think, next week. Monday, I believe, is more writing and talking about story problems. So let's start our homework. That way I can come around and answer questions if I need to. Okay, because that'll give us a good time. What? What's that?